Let's talk about Operation Mockingbird or Project Mockingbird. This was a CIA program meant to hijack the perceptions of mankind internationally and especially in the United States during the Cold War. And Project Mockingbird or Operation Mockingbird was nicknamed after the mockingbird because mockingbirds can mimic the calls and the sounds of any other bird or sound that they hear. They can duplicate that sound and pretend to be other birds. Now, this was a real government program that was sanctioned by the CIA during the Cold War. So what they discovered was that Russia was implementing a lot of propaganda, anti-American propaganda. And so the CIA decided in Operation or Project Mockingbird that they were going to have to enter the game and they were going to have to shift the minds and the perceptions of the American public and the people. And they were going to do this by infiltrating and manipulating news journalists, media outlets, Hollywood, all kinds of different platforms back in the day. And this is a project that probably falls under different names but is still actively going on to this day. There was hundreds of television journalists and war correspondents that would get on the news every night and they would report on world events based on Operation Mockingbird, where they would shift the story or slant the news in such a way to be pro-American, to only show the people a side of the story that the United States government and the current political powers wanted you to see. If you dig into this, you can find evidence of it everywhere, and how many news organizations have even been started and founded based on the idea that we have to shift the perceptions of the American people to see reality in a particular way that we want them to see it. This is basic fundamentals of mind control and how they can use the media, music, Hollywood, the public school system and education, sports, or anything like that, even children's entertainment and toys, in order to shift personal perspectives on reality. Operation Mockingbird was a deep program where they were allowed to even take these journalists and war correspondents, send them all over the world to do this. And it even involves music. For example, let me show you how easy it is to hijack your mind throughout the day just using music. Have you ever got a song stuck in your head or lyrics from a song stuck in your head to where you can't get it out? A simple, tiny little phrase like, "Baby shark," all of a sudden can hijack your whole day to where the only song playing in your head and the internal dialogue going on always has this background music, where all day you're going throughout the day going, "Baby shark, da 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 da, do 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 do," and you're just playing this song like a broken record and a loop in the back of your mind. Like your own internal dialogue basically gets hijacked by the baby shark. And they do this in marketing as well. Like if I said, "They're great," you automatically have imaginations and visualizations that are tied in to Tony the Tiger, and it makes you think of Frosted Flakes. You have cravings maybe for Frosted Flakes, and it might even make you want to go out and buy Kellogg's Frosted Flakes. And this is an entire marketing strategy to get this slogan, "They're great," stuck in your head to where all of a sudden you're craving it, you're salivating, and you're thinking about this. This is all classic mind control techniques to hijack your perceptions of reality and the thoughts that you have throughout the day in order to occupy them with marketing, propaganda, and these ideas that they want you to be consumed with. And this is very prevalent in social media. Have you ever noticed how when you're thinking about things in your mind or you're searching for things on TikTok or in different algorithms, how suddenly your entire algorithm is hijacked with advertisements for those products? This goes all the way back to MK Ultra and Sid Gottlieb and the studies that they did on human consciousness and how they could hijack human perceptions as a form of mind control. And this runs deep into all different aspects of society. And so we have to be aware that basically everything that you see on the news, in media, in movies, everything that you listen to in music, when you walk around the store and you look at the different labels and advertising on the products, they want those jingles to be replaying over and over in your mind on repeat so that you'll buy the things that they want you to buy. You'll go and watch the movies that they want you to watch. You'll sit and scroll on the social media apps all day and control your own internal dialogue and behavior throughout the given day. And this is also used heavily in shameless propaganda, where they get you to see the enemy as being the bad guys or the good guys, and that you're always the good guy versus the bad guy. This is also very heavily used in organized religion, where they get you to fall under this perception and this idea of insiders versus outsiders. If you read the Bible, then you're one of the good guys. If you're not religious and you don't go to church, then obviously you're evil. In propaganda, they use this in red versus blue, Republicans versus Democrats, and they want you to choose a side. Which side are you on? Are you the Republicans? Are you those good guys? Or are you the Democrats? Are you those good guys? So you see it in politics all the time. But one of the big ways that they manipulate our society is through organized religion, to where if you don't belong to a particular faith, then you have all these different nicknames and perceptions applied to you. Like, now you are an apostate, you're an antichrist, you're an outsider, you're an ex-Mormon. For me in particular, because I left the Mormon church, there's this whole culture and doctrine that now I'm not holding on to the iron rod. I'm not one of the people who are part of those promises of the church. And so now I'm an outsider, and I'm seen as someone who is essentially a bad person. But you can't judge a book by its cover. When you see someone like this, just because they're white and they're clean cut and they go to church and they're someone who belongs to organized religion, you can't automatically assume that someone covered with tattoos, wearing a tank top, smoking a cigarette is all of a sudden a bad person or an evil person. Just like you would say, oh, this is an American white couple and they're red hats. These are good, clean cut, wholesome Americans. And so all of a sudden you're going to assume that African Americans or people of color are suddenly not good Americans, or that they don't love our country. And the same kind of propaganda in Operation Mockingbird exists in the UFO community. There's a huge division based on religion and controlling perceptions through Hollywood as to whether or not you fall in one camp or the other. Are UFOs our friends? Are they here to help us? Are they connected to divine beings and benevolent? Or are they actually evil and demonic? Are they here to feed off of our loosh? Are they here to manipulate and control us? Are they evil entities that we should be afraid of? Are they actually demonic? Are they fallen angels? And so religion and politics and media gets you to fall into these different camps and tries to control your perceptions rather than having your own opinions based on your own experiences. This type of project and Operation Mockingbird is still going on to this day, and divides us as a humanity, to where it's difficult for us to see people and not categorize them. And a lot of that even has to do with just thoughts and language. When you were born, there was a language that was taught to you by your parents and by your public school. For me, it's in English. So when I have internal dialogue, I think thoughts in English in my mind, and I hear music and I have visualizations, and my brain wants to categorize everything. But when you learn meditation and you rise above all that, you realize that in between each thought that you have, there's actually an empty space. There's a quiet spot between this thought and the next thought, where there's a wholeness and a oneness, where you can see that clarity as a witness of all things, and you can gain self-awareness and self-control over your own mind and solidarity over your consciousness, and you can find your own morality, and you can see the oneness in all things and in all people, and you don't have to be a puppet to these propaganda games that are being played through Operation Mockingbird.